Hey friends, we are looking at the SquiRose Squirrel Rose model from iambrick. This is 737 pieces and it is set number 31107. And it is a squirrel that happens to have floral and rose elements to it. And here is a minifigure for scale. So he's on the larger side for sure. And what you're seeing here is a squirrel, a little bit of terrain, and then of course all sorts of flowers and things that are growing all over his tail. And as you saw in my unboxing, I'm hoping that companies move away from the idea of putting flowers on everything, especially where they don't belong like this. It's just, to me, it looks like a mutation. And I can see how well they're thinking, oh, well, it just makes it pretty, or maybe it punches it up. But it also doesn't make any sense. So I'm kind of torn. Anyway, let's take a look. So we've got this squirrel. Let's get a little closer look here at his face. And it's pretty well modeled. I like the ears and how pointed they are. I like this eyeball. The eyeball is it is a actual circle with a smaller circle that's printed in there, and they've got, of course, two of them. I like the nose. Got this little tile piece there, and then, of course, his really chubby cheeks. Those are terrific. And then this is using a nougat color. It's not brown. It's maybe doesn't come through on the camera, but it's more of a caramel color, which I think is a better color for the squirrel. And then as far as articulation goes, really there's not that much. His shoulders, I guess you'd call them, are on ratchets. And then here, these are ball joints right where his wrists are. So maybe these are elbows and maybe these are wrists. And he's holding that acorn, and it's just sitting there. And that's how the instructions say to do it. It just basically says rest the acorn right there. And speaking of acorns, there's another one here that's sort of fixed in position. And there's one more here that's fixed in position. And then the other thing that moves is right here. It's his hip. So his hip here has a joint there. And then I believe there's a joint at the ankle too down there. However, these are meant to be clipped into place. And you could pull this entire guy off of the base and he could stand on its own without the terrain. And I think you would be fine. And if you really wanted to, you could pull everything off of the tail, all these floral and palm elements, you could pull those off too. But I'm not sure how good the shaping on the tail would look. It may not look correct. It might have some weirdness to it. Okay, and then of course you've got these nice flower builds all over the outside of it. This is not a bad flower, that one there. Some traditional flowers with this green stem pieces. And then the terrain, pretty well done. There's some little bits of rock and different variations on the tiles used here for the grade. Just kind of look like maybe other stonework or other things that are in there. Got these egg pieces in these caramel colors and a couple, one, two different colors, and then more palm pieces on this side. And here you get a better look at his leg and the tile pieces and the shaping used there, which are not bad. And then it's just too bad that they have hidden everything behind all the floral elements, especially this tail. Like they had a chance to create a really nice brick built bushy tail, maybe the one that curls up the other way. They had a chance to do that and maybe even do it with floral elements that are the right color to look like it's fur. I think would have been terrific, but that's not what they chose to do. Instead, they chose to just kind of cover everything over with flowers. All right, and then you'll see there's like these nougat pieces here on the arms. A little bit strange, a little blocky there, but that's okay. The whole thing is a brick-built animal. Okay, and I went ahead and pulled everything off of his tail, and I took him off of the stand. And so here's our guy, our squirrel, with all of those things taken off of his tail. And here's how he looks without anything on his tail. So you can see they have just so many little attachment points on his tail for those floral elements. But wouldn't be too hard to modify and even turn this around so that it looks, maybe it's going the other direction, I don't know, or it looks fine that way too. And you could potentially tile this over to make it a nice bushy furry tail. So he's got potential there, and could be a cool model. Okay, so that's my look. Hope you got to see everything you wanted to see about the SquiRose from iambrick. And like the video if you like it, and hit subscribe. I'll be able to share more videos and sets like this in the future. All right, thanks.